In this video, we're counting down some of the best brand new series on Netflix. Let's begin.
Number 10, First Kill. When it's time for teenage vampire Juliet to make her first kill, so she can take her place among a powerful vampire family, she sets her sights on a new girl in town named Calliope. But much to Juliet's surprise, Calliope is a vampire hunter from a family of celebrated slayers. Both find out that the other won't be so easy to kill, and unfortunately way too easy to fall for. So not only is this a vampire monster hunting series, in a way it's also a teenage romance. All the main actors are fantastic and had great chemistry, and welcoming viewers into a refreshingly new supernatural world of lore. Probably a good thing they kept the special effects to a minimum. Netflix should significantly expand the show's budget for special and practical effects. Number 9, Boo Bitch.
How am I there and still here? Am I a ghost?
Two senior BFFs make a last-ditch attempt to be seen, but when one of them becomes a ghost, she'll need to really live her best life. So Boo is an 8-episode series starring Alana Condor, and she dies within this series, and to go into the afterlife, she has unfinished business. She has to figure out what that unfinished business is while navigating high school. Overall, Boo is good as a casual series. The story itself is enjoyable as a whole. It's engaging and entertaining. There's no sex or nudity, a ton of profanity and some violence. And this is a limited series.
God, I love that bitch.
Yeah, me too.
Number 8, Resident Evil.
They said the world would end in 2036. But they were wrong.
Resident Evil is back in live action, but this time around Netflix is taking it over and turning it into a series. Resident Evil is split between two timelines. One set in 2022 focusing on Albert Wesker and his half-twin daughters Billy and Jade, who recently moved to New Raccoon City. The second timeline is set in 2036, 14 years after a deadly virus causes a global outbreak, focusing on an older Jade as she searches for a cure while evading the Umbrella Corporation. However, the series does a great job of condensing the game's big plot points while still telling an original story. Resident Evil certainly had you on the edge of the seat a few times. If you expect consistent scares, you'll be disappointed. Although one of the two timelines felt more compelling and interesting to watch than another, Resident Evil's first season offers a new original and compelling story that leaves plenty of room for a second season. Number 7, In From the Cold.
Someone help me!
During European vacation with her daughter, an American single mom's life is turned upside down when the CIA forces her to confront her long-buried past as a Russian spy, who was also the product of a highly classified KGB experiment, granting her special abilities. After a mysterious string of manic and murderous incidents, she is forced out of hiding to stop this villain, or risk losing the family and new life that she's built. The show is 8 episodes long, with each of them sitting between 40 and 50 minutes. Overall, In From the Cold has some good mysterious espionage, and the potential story premise is intriguing, especially with the introduction of a sci-fi aspect. Also, action sequences very exciting. In its first 16 days on Netflix, the show was watched for 85 million hours globally.
When this is all over, do I get to go back to my real life?
I don't know.
Number 6, Archive 81. If you like good mystery, a little bit of horror and drama, well, you're gonna love Archive 81. An archivist takes a job restoring a collection of damaged videotapes from 1994. While reconstructing the work of a documentary filmmaker, he is drawn into her investigation of a dangerous cult. He slowly finds himself obsessed with uncovering what happened. This supernatural psychological mystery stars Mamadou Attire, Dina Shahabi, and Martin Donovan Addis. The story will transition back and forth between Dan watching the restoration on a monitor, and then us following Melody and watching the action play out right in front of us. The found footage actually enhances, so overall Archive 81 is a well-crafted dramatic sci-fi mystery with some very captivating characters.
Please find me.
Number 5, Inventing Anna.
I have a question. What's you wearing? You look poor.
A journalist with a lot to prove investigates the case of Anna Delvey, the Instagram legendary German heiress, who stole the hearts of New York's social scene, and stole their money as well. This series is based on the New York Magazine article, How Anna Delvey Tricked New York's Party People by Jessica Pressler. Each episode in this show tells a portion of the story from a different perspective, focusing on a certain character's relationship with Anna. and then the ensuing interviews with Vivian as she's writing the story. Inventing Anna is a new Netflix limited series from Shonda Rhimes, so overall Inventing Anna is an engaging drama, with some incredible acting from stars Julia Garner and Anna Klumsky. This real-life tale provides a ton of insight into the infamous Anna Delvey. Number 4. All of Us Are Dead. All of Us Are Dead is South Korea's latest entry into its excellent escalating body of undead May, and this show is a striking glimpse of the intense battle between students turned zombies and survivors desperate to escape, so trapped in a virus-ridden school with no cell phones, no food, and nobody to take care of them. The students, they're reaching for everything they possibly can to help them survive, and basically this high school becomes ground zero for a zombie virus outbreak. The most exciting part of most zombie stories is the initial crushing downfall of civilization, and fortunately that's the entire focus here. Likewise, every crisis these teens face throughout this ordeal feels real, immediate, and grounded. Plus, All of Us Are Dead zombie action is never not impressive. This is massively kinetic storytelling that will drain you as emotionally as it drains our heroes physically. Amid all this carnage, there's also a few surprisingly complex relationships which provides the actual lifeblood of the story. Number 3. The Witcher Blood Origin. Before we get to see Geralt and Ciri again in The Witcher 3, a limited prequel series is based on the horizon of The Witcher Blood Origin. The soon-to-be released spin-off is set in the pre-human era of the Elven world. As we said at the start, this new show follows the genesis of the Witchers, set in an Elven world in 1200. The Witcher Blood Origin will tell a story lost to time, the origin of the very first Witcher, and the events that lead to the pivotal conjunction of the spheres, when the worlds of monsters, men, and elves merge to become one, is one of these spin-offs that Netflix has agreed to produce. After realizing the potential of this fantasy universe, The Witcher Blood Origin teaser opens with a small group of elven adventurers banding together as they travel and fend off threats, while we wait for The Witcher Season 3, The Witcher Blood Origin, which is expected to hit Netflix in December 2022. Number 2. The Sandman. The Sandman ranked at number 1 globally on Netflix's top 10 titles 3 days after its release, with 69 million hours viewed. The massive new fantasy series Sandman spent around $15 million per episode over the series, that equates to over $165 million, making it one of the most expensive series to ever be made by the platform. The Sandman revolves around another world that waits for us all when we close our eyes and fall asleep. This place is called the Dreaming, where the Sandman, master of dreams, gives shape to our deepest fears and fantasies. But when Dream is unexpectedly captured and held prisoner for a century, his absence sets off a series of events that will change both the dreaming and waking worlds forever. To restore that ordered, dreamless journey across different worlds and timelines, to mend his mistakes that he's made during his vast existence, revisiting old friends and foes, and meeting new entities, both cosmic and human, along the way. And this is based on the beloved award-winning DC series, written by Neil Gaiman. Before we unveil number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1. Vikings Valhalla. Valhalla chronicles the heroic adventures of the legendary explorer Leif Erikson, his fiery and headstrong sister Freydis Erik's daughter, and the ambitious Nordic prince Harald Sigurdsson. As tensions between the Vikings and the English royals reach a bloody breaking point, and as the Vikings themselves clash over their conflicting Christian and pagan beliefs, these 3 Vikings begin in an epic journey that will take them across oceans and through battlefields as they fight for survival and glory. So if you've watched Vikings or The Last Kingdom, you kind of know what you're in store for with this new storyline. And hand-to-hand battles, as well as some epic army against army fights, and they're bloody and brutal, but they're always exciting. The 8-episode season of Valhalla, which dropped on Netflix in February 25th.
Well, this is it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up.